Hello, what's up? So we're going to be making a sword in your hand. So we're going to use welds and we're going to weld the sword to your hand. I'm going to show you that in this video. So we want to create a new project. And now that we're in the game, we're going to go to plugins. The two plugins that I will be using are the default rig builder. You can use any old rig, and then Easy Weld. This is part of the Moon Animator Suite package. You can use any sort of welding tool. It's just manually positioning the weld to your hand. So what we're going to do is create a new rig. Then we're going to drag that down there so we get a nice view. We're going to go to Toolbox, sword right there. We'll take this sword. We don't want to put it in the starter pack. We just want the mesh. So we're going to find the mesh. It's part of the handle. It's actually a mesh, special mesh. So we're going to delete the tool. And then this is actually locked. So we want to unlock this in the Properties tab so we can actually drag it and interact with it. And we're going to remove everything inside of it except for the special mesh. So right now I wanna weld it to the character. What's interesting about welds is that if I were to weld from here to the upper torso, it'll follow the position of the upper torso and make the rotation and position relative to this character. So it'll always maintain this distance right here. So we're actually going to be using that concept, but we're going to put it closer to the hand. So what we want to do is position it to the hand as you would usually hold it. We want to position it like that. I think that's good. So we'll drag that back a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So from here, I'm going to open this dummy, and I'm going to actually rename this part to sword. I'm going to tinker with the properties. I don't want it to collide, because if you run into an object, it's going to actually punch this sword into the wall, kind of. Not in a literal way, but just hit against the sword. We don't want that. We just want to go through the wall. Have to handle anything like that, so we're gonna tick that off. Can collide, and then we're gonna make it massless so it doesn't drag our arm down and make us heavier, so we can't jump. Sometimes some objects are such a crazy mass that you can't even jump. So while we have this selected, we're going to select the hand. So we want to hold Alt so we can get access to this, and then while you're holding Alt, you're going to press Control, click, and then you're going to weld that together. And weld. And then you're going to rename this weld. I'm going to rename it to hand weld so I remember what it is. And then the part 1 of the weld, we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to drag this to server storage. Perfect. And if I join the game right now, the sword's not in my hand, sadly. So we're going to join the game. No sword. So we're going to make a script to automate this and put it in our hand every time the character resets or is added. So we're going to make a script in server script storage, insert object, script. I'm just going to rename this sword maker. So we're going to get rid of this line of code. We're going to make our variables. I'm going to make a variable called player service. This is going to hold our service for the players, so we can actually access the player events. And then we're going to make another one called server storage, because we actually want to access the sword in server storage. So get service, server storage. And we're going to say player service dot player added. So every time a player joins the game once, not their character, just the player, this is going to run. We have no way of accessing the player right now. So we're going to actually add an argument inside of this function. An argument is just random variables inside. Just making random variables right now. And everything that's passed through this event will go through this function. So we're gonna make one called player. So this is gonna be our player. From here, if the player joins once, it'll run all the code inside of here. So we're gonna say player dot character appearance loaded. Make sure you use appearance loaded, because if you use character loaded, all the stuff on the character will yield and cause the function to like if you put weld onto the character, it won't set correctly. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Most of the time it won't. So we're going to use character appearance loaded. This will run right after it loaded all our accessories, our hats, our Valkyries, our sparkle time fedoras, whatever it is. So we're gonna say character. This is our argument. This is the actual physical model of the character, which is in workspace. So we're gonna make another variable called sword, and we're gonna point this to the sword in server storage. So we'll say server storage.sword. And right now this is just the path of the sword. So if we put this into the workspace, we won't be able to access it for the second time. To get around that, we're going to use clone. It's basically copying the object, and then we're going to paste the object, which is parenting the object. So we're going to say sword.parent is equal to character, because we want the sword to be inside of the character. So if I run the game, the sword will go through the earth right now. It won't be anything else. We actually want to set a weld to the sword so it doesn't fall through the void. So we're going to check what our weld was named. It was hand weld. We're going to click on that. And as you can see, part 0 is the actual sword itself. Part 1 is empty. That would be our hand. So we're actually going to say sword.handweld.part1, because that's the empty one, is equal to character dot right hand. And if we load into the game, we have our sword in our hand. That's simple. If we restart, look at that, a sword in our hand. I might make another tutorial how to actually make an animation for slashing, holding the sword so the hand will be upright. But yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped. Peace.